Hi, my name is Dawn Schnabel. I'm a registered dietitian, certified diabetes educator with BeautyCare. Today I'm going to do a video on healthy eating with diabetes. Meal planning when you have diabetes is one of the 3 treatments when it comes to keeping your blood sugars under good control, besides exercise and diabetic medications. Meal planning can be a challenge at times because we eat every day, and what we choose to eat is going to have an effect on our blood sugar each and every day. It is important that you work with a certified diabetes educator to make a meal plan specific for you. But today I will go through some basics to get you started. When it comes to meal planning, there's 3 important things to ask yourself. When do I eat? What do I eat? And how much do I eat? When you eat, it is important that you try to eat 3 meals a day. Skipping meals usually does not go well because then we tend to overeat later on in the day. What we choose to eat can make a big impact on our glucose readings. If I choose to have Mountain Dew and a donut for lunch, likely my blood sugars will go quite high. Versus if I have a nice sandwich with a piece of fruit, my blood sugars will be more controlled and I'll feel better with eating something like that. When it comes to meal planning with diabetes, we focus on carbohydrates. There are 3 main macronutrients. There's proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Carbohydrates have the biggest impact on your blood sugars because those are what turns into sugar, and that our body takes that sugar and turns it into energy. So you still want to eat carbohydrates and have them be part of your daily intake, but you have to be careful of how much you eat of them at one time. Carbohydrate foods include grains, breads, cereals, pastas, fruits, milk and yogurt, combination foods, and sweets and snacks. One thing to remember when it comes to diabetic meal planning, there is nothing you can eat. You just have to be smart in what you choose in the volume. When it comes to carbohydrates, we count by grams. Typically per meal, we like you to stay around 45 to 60 grams of carbohydrates. If you need to have a snack, try to stay around 15 grams of carbohydrates. To learn how many carbohydrates are in your foods, you want to look at a food label. Most foods that have a package will have a food label on that. There's 2 things that you want to focus on: serving size and total carbohydrates. Serving size will always be at the top of that label, and total carbohydrates are in the middle. There is sugars on the food label, but you do not need to worry about that at this time. Just serving size and total carbohydrates. If you try to stay around 45 to 60 grams of carbohydrates at each meal, your blood sugars will get better controlled. Now, 45 to 60 grams of carbohydrates can add up very quickly if you choose the wrong foods or too much of the wrong foods. So I'm going to demonstrate and show you what a 45-gram carb meal can look like. When we take our plate, you always want to try to start with a 9-inch plate. This is the size of plate that they recommend that we eat off of. Next, we'll get our carbohydrates. So with this meal, I'm going to have a glass of milk. 8 ounces of milk is about 12 grams of carbohydrates. So out of my 45 allowance, this is going to take up 12. And then I'm going to have a starch, whether that be pasta, potatoes, rice. It's okay to eat these foods. You just want to be careful of the volume and try to only have it be a quarter of that plate. Here I have a serving of pasta. This is about 30 grams of carbohydrates. And I'm going to add that to my plate right there. So between the pasta and the milk, right now, I have almost my 45 grams of carbs. This doesn't look like much, but we will change that. For your fillers, you want to use non-carbohydrate foods. Non-carbohydrate foods include your vegetables, such as carrots, broccoli, cauliflower, salads, cucumbers, tomatoes, onions, peppers, all those wonderful vegetables. They have great nutrition, they don't affect our blood sugars, and they're good fillers. Corn, peas, and potatoes, those are your starchies. Those you have to be careful of. So I'm going to add some vegetables to my plate. I have some green beans and some carrots. And you can see I filled half my plate with the vegetables, but now half my plate is covered. Next, to help fill me up, I'm going to add some protein. Protein such as your meat, chicken, fish, tofu, eggs, cheese. Those are going to also help fill you up and not affect your blood sugars. So I'm going to add in some fish. So as you can see here, I still have 45 grams of carbs, but this plate looks much better than it did before with just the pasta and milk. And this meal hopefully will satisfy you much better too. So as you can see, eating for diabetics isn't any different than the rest of us and how well the rest of us should be eating. It's just about making right choices and enjoying those sweet treats on occasion. I hope this helped give you an idea of how to start with meal planning with diabetes. Please work with your certified diabetes educator and they will make a plan individualized for you and work with you in your current eating patterns. Thank you for watching.